Please join us in welcoming our co-founder and CEO, Michael Lynch.
Good morning, IYT brothers, family, and community members. Welcome to the 7th annual IYT graduation celebration. This event is special because it recognizes 3 important transitions in our young man's journey. 1, middle school to high school to college, and college to the workforce. And this year, we are celebrating over 300 young men of color and their journey for educational success. Before we begin, I will be remiss if I do not mention the continued racial injustice that perpetuates this country. IYT unequivocally condemns the murder of George Floyd, and we stand in solidarity with the protesters demanding equity and action from their elected officials. The brothers who we celebrate today, they are our hope. They are hope for a better tomorrow. I want to recognize this year's event sponsors, Sacramento State, Mayor Steinberg, the College Futures Foundation, and the California Telecommunications Association in recognition of their continued support for IYT. Speaking of support, I also have to mention one of our closest partners, the Sacramento Regional Community Foundation. They have been critical in our work in helping to get scholarships to our young men as they continue their college journey. Over the past couple years, in partnership, we hope to give out over $100,000 in scholarships. I just want to give a shout out to this year's award winners. Dylon Maxey, DeVale Perry, Joel Espinoza, Montello Myers, Ranish Sharma, Eric Sissom, and Christopher Gamez. The theme of this year's celebration, the marathon continues. This week, IYT brothers, you received a handful of different items for your mentors. Our 8th graders, now high school freshmen, they received a certificate. On the certificate, there were 3 names. There was myself, our co-founder, Michael Casper, and their program director. The signatures really do represent the village that surrounds our young brothers as they continue along to high school and eventual college success. And for my about-to-be high school freshmen, it's important to recognize that IYT does not end until you graduate college. For my high school seniors, now college freshmen, what you got was the baton. The baton represents a relay. And in a relay, when you're done running your leg of the race, you pass it on to the next person. At the heart of IYT is service. The baton represents service. So now as you end your high school journey and you start college, it's important to think about how you can begin to serve others. And that service may look different, whether it's making sure your sister gets picked up from school every day, or helping your mom around the house, or whether it's mentoring the next generation of young men to get to and through college. For my college students, what you got was a medal, because you completed the race. IYT's goal is college graduation, and you did that. And this year's class is special, because many of these young brothers started with us as freshmen and sophomores in high school. They completed their leg of the race. But it's important for you to recognize, because of your college degree, you're going to have doors open to you. And those doors are going to help to improve not only your life, but your family's. But it's important that you hold those doors open for the next young brother to come through. I'm going to finish with a story from my favorite book called The Alchemist. The Alchemist is about a boy named Santiago. He has a dream to find a treasure in a faraway land. So one day he decides, you know what, I'm going to pursue my dream. I'm going to try to find this treasure in this faraway land. So he leaves his job, he leaves his family, he gets in a boat, and he arrives at the faraway land. Immediately, when he's there, he gets robbed. And the first step of trying to get to his journey, he has a major obstacle and a major setback. Spoiler alert, Santiago eventually gets to his treasure, but it's not without continuous obstacles along the way. So here's my advice to you, young brothers. You will face obstacles along the way. There will be people and things who tell you what you can't do, obstacles that come before you in pursuit of your treasure. One of the first people I told about IYT was my mentor. You know what he told me? He said, Michael, it's not a good idea, don't do it. If I were to listen to him, we would not be here today. So what you will face along your journey in completing college and in reaching your dream and finding your treasure, is you will find obstacles along the way. And my advice is for you to do 2 things. 1, believe in yourself. 2, work as hard as you possibly can at your dream. and use these 3 core values. Be resilient, be authentic, and be passionate. Thank you.
Reciting the creed, please welcome our graduates.
We believe.
We believe.
We believe.
We believe.
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 We are the scholars of IYT.
We will be honor roll students.
We're college-bound brothers. We will be college graduates.
We will not quit in the face of any obstacle.
We'll work to improve our community. We are our brother's keeper. We are our brother's keeper.
We believe in each other.
We believe in IYT.
We believe.
We believe.
We believe.
We believe.
We believe.
We believe.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm virtual welcome to our keynote speaker, UC Davis Chancellor, Gary May.
Ready for me now?
2, 3, 1, now.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here with you this morning. There's no question that we need some positivity and hope right now. Our communities are in tremendous pain over social injustice, and for months we've been isolated and anxious from the COVID-19 pandemic. All of this has been a lot to endure. Sometimes it feels exhausting. But I remain an optimist, and that's because of students like you that we celebrate today. You're full of talent and tenacity.
It's gonna be like they're gonna be able to hear that you
success.
told them to.
Your stories empower us and give us hope that the future is in good hands. Each one of these graduates today stands at a great moment of transition. Some are about to enter high school, others are on their way to college or are ready to enter the workforce. But no matter what chapter awaits, I have no doubt they will be successful. They've been guided with great care and mentoring from Improve Your Tomorrow. They've been reinforced with values that build strong character that's needed to thrive in our world. For one, they've learned the value of resilience. Many of you have faced poverty and a scarcity of role models. Many of you know what it's like to feel marginalized just because of your skin color. I've felt this pain as well. I know the anger and sadness of being called racial epithets. I've faced the hurt when parents didn't allow their children to play with my daughters simply because my daughter's skin was brown. These kinds of burdens can be tough to carry, but you have to keep pushing forward. You can't let anyone define or deflate you. Stay strong, speak out, and keep pushing, because you don't know the rewards at the end of the road. And by the end, you just might make a difference. You've been also taught the importance of authenticity. You've been encouraged to stay true to yourselves, to embrace your heritage, and just keep it real. I've tried to keep this in mind throughout my life, because when I started college as an engineering student, I'd look around the lecture halls and the laboratories and realize I was often the only person of color in the room. So I've worked hard to show that engineering is for everybody, including me. Everybody that has the talent, that has and the inclination to work for it, that needs diversity and benefits from people of all backgrounds. I'll give you a quick example of why this is important. Sometimes when you go to wash your hands at an automated faucet in a public restroom, no water comes out. And that's because many of the faucet sensors are not properly calibrated for darker skin like mine. Some of you may have experienced this as well. So either way, it just goes to show that diversity is not just important as a social good, which it is, but for outcomes and innovation as well. So don't be afraid to forge your own path. Take charge of your talents and your destiny. The truth is that people might try and define you who you are as you go through life and chase your dreams. They might pass judgment because of your skin color or what neighborhood you call home. With an educated mind, with authenticity and the power of community, you can and you will persist in whatever you choose. So we've talked about the importance of being resilient and authentic, but it's your passion that will bring all this together. It's about following what's in your heart and recognizing your self-worth. It's about working hard to better yourself as a person while showing love for the community around you and the generations to come. Sometimes the passions we follow in life start at an early age. For me, it's no joke to say that it all started with Lego. Those plastic blocks might seem like toys, but they were much more to me. They fueled my imagination for creating and building. I didn't know it at the time, but those Lego blocks were teaching me basic engineering principles like symmetry and redundancy. So I kept building. I followed my passion to complete my education and then pursue academic leadership. Along the way, I became passionate about something else as well. That was a passion for helping students of all backgrounds find success. When I was a professor and later Dean of Engineering at Georgia Tech, I developed programs for students. I helped create opportunities for young people to know more about STEM careers, science, technology, engineering, and math. I wanted them to get excited about science and engineering or any subject they enjoyed that could help them succeed. Now I have the honor of continuing this mission on a much bigger scale at UC Davis. We have almost 40,000 students at our university, which is more than half the people who live in the city of Woodland. And all around Davis, you see people pursuing their passions. They're working hard to find solutions for coronavirus, for example. They're learning how to heal people and animals. They're learning how to run businesses, how to succeed at becoming artists and musicians, and much more. Now here's one more thing on the subject of passion. I hope you'll be passionate about helping others improve, as Improve Your Tomorrow has been helping you. No matter what you're about to enter, high school or starting a new job, I guarantee that you're about to be somebody's role model. After all, you have shown everyone what it means to persevere. You've shown everyone that you are talented and have the capacity to be successful in whatever you do. So now it's your time to pay it forward. Take someone under your wing and show them what's possible. Be an example of what a person can become through hard work, passion, and dedication to being the best. Your ability to mentor others is an incredible gift that is your gift that you can give to the world. Now, once again, I congratulate all of the students today. I have no doubt that we'll be hearing more about you and your accomplishments in the days to come. That's because you've learned what it means to be resilient. You're prepared to overcome whatever challenges come your way. You're authentic, you're true to yourself, and know you have the ability to pursue whatever interests you. And you're passionate. You're enthusiastic and have a can-do attitude that makes you unstoppable. So put all these together and you've created a solid pathway to success. We're all rooting for you and can't wait to see all that you will become and how you make your mark in this world. So I wish you all peace and good health, and thank you and good luck.
Hi Aggies, my name is Michael Lynch. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Improve Your Tomorrow. IYT is an education, college access, and completion nonprofit focused on increasing the number of young men of color to attend and graduate from college and universities. We are excited this fall to partner with UC Davis and launch the IYT Youth program focused on increasing the retention and graduation for young men of color at UC Davis. So welcome to the IYT family.
Please welcome Rajrel Guadalupe, an Oakland High School teacher, singer, and youth arts advocate.
Congratulations, class of 2020. Improve Your Tomorrow. I wrote this piece for you. Ayanna Jones and Tamir Rice would have turned 18 this year. 2 black children who never experienced high school would have graduated today with you. May 25th, 2020. George Floyd is killed and his dying face lives in us. Graduation has never been this painful. How do you celebrate the biggest achievement in your life in the middle of a pandemic, in the middle of an epidemic? Black people can't sleep. Breonna Taylor can't run. Ahmaud Arbery can't live in their bodies. Nina Pop, Tony McDade. How can you graduate, hold your head up high, say cheese and smile when you might become immortal on graduation? When I was asked to write this piece, I wanted to focus on joy. But living in your body means you have to celebrate while grieving, means drive through graduations and turning on the news to I Can't Breathe and holding in your trauma because you the man of the house. This doesn't get easier, but that doesn't mean that this isn't your moment. There's space for joy and protest inside of you. I got power, poise, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I got hustle, though, ambition, flow inside my DNA. I got graduation inside my DNA. Got Nipsey Hussle tendencies inside this DNA. Your marathon continues here. So, graduates of 2020, stand up. This is a place where warriors, kings, and future legends sits. In this virtual graduation today, a place where your ancestors passed the baton of resiliency and ending generational curses, a place where you look at your reflection and smile because black and brown boy joy is necessary in all this grief. You survived a pandemic and simultaneously had to live through black people being lynched over and over again on TV. You protested. You are the reason for the protests and the reason we'll see real change. The pain doesn't go away, but today, imagine Malcolm X standing next to you. Imagine Kobe Bryant shaking your hand. Call in your grandfather who is watching you from above. Give your mother a big fat hug because she's probably standing next to you now. Young brothers are looking at you to be everything they dream you to be. This is for every brother who didn't make it to graduation, for every black and brown man who has ever been unfairly incarcerated, enslaved, and killed, for Trayvon, for Mike, for Emmett Till, for Oscar Grant, for Eric Salgado, for the exonerated 5 who finished high school behind bars. To be black and brown means you have to thrive and push in the middle of violence and racism, in the midst of slavery, in the midst of civil rights. Our ancestors have always been the most important healers and revolutionaries and chemists and navigators, doctors, philosophers, inventors, and scholars. In the year that was supposed to change the world, you were given the gift of fire and torch and superpower and light. For brilliant, brown-skinned boys who break barriers bravely beyond belief, stand up. This is a spiritual celebration, and you are the prayer, you are the affirmation, you are the song we praise, you are God's son, and you are the brightest spot in 2020.
Representing our promoting 8th graders, please welcome Xavier Watts.
I will be attending Edison High School this year. I'm mostly be your freshman, junior, sophomore, senior in the fall. I'm excited because it's gonna be like my first year of being in high school, so I always wanted to see what it would be like. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty exciting for me. And like when it comes to like sports I mostly want to play is basketball and football. I want to try out track, but I don't want to all see, but mostly football and basketball. Yeah. I love football and basketball, and I look forward to how fun it's going to be. Football and basketball are pretty fun because I've been playing them ever since I was like 8, 7 years old. And I'm just mostly looking forward to graduating and getting my diploma. So the most important thing is to graduate and get
Joining us now is recent Florin graduate, Chris Gomez.
When I was asked if I would like to give a speech at the IYT graduation ceremony, I gladly accepted. I was told that I needed to write my speech revolving around the word authentic. So the first thing I did was head to Google and search for the definition of authentic. And some defining words that really stuck out to me were words like genuine and original, which is relative to one of a kind or none like it. So then I got to thinking, and I realized that the authentic aspects of my life and being surrounded by authentic people in school and in IYT has really helped me succeed and accomplish many things in my high school career. And I'll speak a bit on that. Hi, my name is Christopher Gomez and I am graduating Florin High School. But when I entered high school, I just viewed this as boring and something that everyone has to do, which oftentimes is true. This can be boring, and it is something that everyone has to do, but I just did not initially see how important education really was. However, one thing I had going for myself was my curiosity to know about the things that did not make sense to me. Even so, this authentic trait of mine was not necessarily being aimed at the things that would really help me, like school, until I was exposed to IYT, which was filled with mentors who genuinely cared about the students and helped guide my curiosity towards school-related activities. At first, the help sounded like meaningless words that I had no interest in really, but I had stubborn mentors who wanted to help me do the best I can, so they kept on telling me to do this, to do that. They saw that I was not only able to do the work in my classes, but exceed in them. They repeated this to me so much that eventually I was sick and tired of hearing it. So in my efforts to no longer hear that anymore, I decided to complete the work. And in the end, I was doing exceedingly good in my classes. My solutions worked. I was no longer told to do the work, but instead being told congratulations for my accomplishments. And a congrats sounded way better than being told what to do, and I got a good grade out of it. At this point, authenticity in the form of my curiosity was focused on schoolwork. Then I took on sports and then clubs, and consequently, my thoughts and goals were being put into things that would better me in school and as a person. But enough about me and what I did, because most of y'all don't really care about that. So I'm going to talk about us, class of 2020. I'd like for you guys to think about all the other classes before us. Have they needed to go through a global pandemic which has literally affected almost everyone in the world during their most important time of their school careers? I don't know about you guys, but none come to mind but us. Not only that, we are living through a time of protest, not just throughout the nation, but internationally. Protests against police brutality in response to the murder of George Floyd. With all of this going on, we are living in a time that will certainly end up in the history books. But as I think about this just proves how strong and how tough class of 2020 really is. In the midst of all these unfortunate circumstances, we were still able to beat the obstacles and be able to promote and graduate. That to me sounds like we're one of a kind. There is no other class like us. Overcoming these obstacles just make our authenticity shine when the going gets tough. But now we're done with this stage of our life, and we have to continue our journey and be authentic in the process. And after all of this, I am completely confident in our abilities to do well in our future endeavors. With that being said, class of 2020, we made it. This is Christopher Gomez, and thank you for listening.
Now from our college graduating class, please welcome Keelan Newsom.
Congratulations to all of our 2020 graduates and promotees. Allow me to begin. Passion, intense, driving, or overmastering feeling or conviction, otherwise defined as any powerful or compelling emotion or feeling as love or hate. This is a core value because at the core of who we are is this fire that burns inside of us. It was passion that drove two men to start a program that would serve the community that they loved and destroy the systems they hated. That very passion jump-started me on the route to where I am today. It's because it was contagious. I was convicted by the fact that I had begun to give up on the very education that could change my community. It is passion that inspired me to begin this selfless journey of proving the statistics wrong and proving those that I cared about right. So I hated the fact that I was expected to fail, young black male, single teenage mom, low income, South Sac. All of these demographics were indictments against my success. I hated the fact that the same brothers I walked the streets with on Mack Road, Center Parkway, and Valley High, they were all expected to fail despite the potential I saw in their eyes. But see, I also loved that single teenage mom enough to show her that her sacrifice was not in vain. And I loved the young brothers running around my community enough to show them a better way, to show them that they are capable and aren't defined by our circumstances. And they too would need to join this race against the statistics to prove the journey of those before them wasn't in vain. You see, we now have a right to the education my ancestors were denied. And so while I ran my leg, intuitively, I knew I couldn't wait to start training up the next cohort of runners. The passion that burned inside of me was not willing to wait another day. It was ready to continue to blaze the trail before us. After all, there was no time to wait. I mean, we've been waiting for hundreds of years and it seems that we can't catch up. So to delay another day wasn't an option. I had to do both. And so while I was yet still unsure about the race that I was about to endure, I knew that I knew enough to get my brothers to the starting line at least, and I would figure out how to get them to the finish line as I went on my journey. So I stand before you today, proud mostly of these 8th graders that I started with 5 years ago, and have the privilege of seeing them off to go officially start their leg of the race, as I have completed mine. But I have to be honest, at times I wasn't sure if I would be able to continue running, because sometimes I felt unqualified to be in this race. But it was the passion. It was the passion that showed the brothers behind me that they can do it too, that drove me to push through the pain. I'm most proud of the fact that the brothers that have made a commitment, like I did, to training up the next cohort of runners to push back the narrative by preparing to run this race. See, they will go on to feed the small flame of passion that kindles in our brothers that are trying to find their way. And they will run the race, and they will likewise use the same passion to clear the way for those behind them. That is the passion that is contagious. So to all my fellow graduates, understand that while I have finished this race, there's yet another one just around the corner. So don't ever think that this is where you stop, that this is all you have to do, because the race that we are running is one that you must commit to for the rest of your life. Even when you get too tired to run further, never be too tired to teach someone who can run beyond where you stopped. Keep running, my brothers. Don't run from the problem. Don't run out of fear. But run after solutions. Allow that small flame of passion to give you the strength to endure. Thank you.
Friends and family, brothers and sisters, please help us give a virtual round of applause for our 2020 college graduates of IYT. Keelan Newsom, Sacramento State, Bachelor's in Economics. Rudy Regalado, Sacramento State, Bachelor's in Communication Studies. David Wilson II, Sacramento State, Bachelor's in Film. Aaron Arredondo, Sacramento State, Bachelor's in Communication Studies. Johan Cardenas, Sacramento State, Bachelor's in Political Science. Glenmil Biete, Sacramento State, Bachelor's in Sociology. Adam Allen, UC Merced, Bachelor's in History. Kang Vang, Sacramento State, Bachelor's in Ethnic Studies. Philip Mitchell, UC Santa Barbara, Bachelor's in Political Science. Tex Wambui, UC Davis, Bachelor's in Economics. Anthony La, Sacramento State, Bachelor's in Sociology. To close our ceremony, please welcome our co-founder and COO, Michael Casper.
IYT college graduates, congratulations. You not only have ran the race, but you have won the race. You have demonstrated great endurance. You have overcome trials and tribulations, and you are victorious. At this time, please grab your medals, put it around your neck, and know that we are proud of you. You have been great examples for future generations that follow you. To our class of 2020, your time is now. The stage is set. Know that you are our right now and our future. And also know that it's okay to be afraid or to have doubt, but take heart and be courageous and know that we got your back. I also wanted to give some final thanks to our AmeriCorps partners, California volunteers, our wonderful district partners that help to support and enable us to be able to serve the young people that take part in Improve Your Tomorrow. And most certainly, and most importantly, our community, our parents. Thank you for joining us today as we celebrate our young IYT brothers and their accomplishments. Have a great day.
We believe.
We believe.
We believe.
We believe.
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 We are the scholars of IYT.
We will be honor roll students.
We are college-bound brothers. We will be college graduates.
We will not quit in the face of any obstacle.
We'll work to improve our community. We are our brother's keeper. We are our brother's keeper.
We believe in each other.
We believe in IYT.
We believe.
We believe.
We believe.
We believe.
We believe.
We believe.
Hi Aggies, my name is Michael Lynch. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Improve Your Tomorrow. IYT is an education, college access, and completion nonprofit focused on increasing the number of young men of color to attend and graduate from college and universities. We are excited this fall to partner with UC Davis and launch the IYT Youth Program focused on increasing the retention and graduation for young men of color at UC Davis. So welcome to the IYT family.